And this has come up before with some people just having issues with handlebars, so I'm just going to go over that. And let's do it with using Travel Secure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen and we're going to start recording this. So I'm going to go to Travel Secure. Move this. Go to So I already have it on my local machine. Where do I have it though? Documents? Hold on. I might not actually. All right, let me clone it. So I'm gonna clone this.
Sounds like he has a cold.
Hmm?
Okay. Oh. And then
Hey, who is that? I thought I put everyone on mute. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right. All right, so now I have Travel Secure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cd into Travel Secure. So what's happening over here is I just cd'd into my master branch. So now what I'm going to do is show you guys again where in the application my handlebars files are and where they should be rendered from. So we've gone over this several times in class. So this is just going to be a quick review. That's because I'm also not feeling good and it's Saturday. So let's see here. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to do npm start. Oop, I have to do an npm install first. Am I not in Travel Secure? Huh? 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 What is going on? Hold on. What the hell? What the fuck is this? Hold on, there's something wrong with my node. Oh, your update's taking a long time. It's taking a really long time. All right, so while this is happening, I want to make sure that everyone does have their applications on their local machines. You guys should just be following along. I have no idea why this is taking so long. And also why this is not charging. Oh, okay. Okay, so now, let's see. What the fuck? Node. Through upgrade node. Soviet Okay, so now Node is not being weird again because I upgraded it. Okay. That was weird. All right, npm install. Cool. Now it's working. So I run npm start. I have to have the Java secure database, so why don't I open that up? So open up the application using code dot. In my config JSON, what I'm going to do is I have to create this Java secure development. So what I'm going to do is open up my SQL workbench, make sure I have a connection going. Connected. I'm going to create database, travel secure development, and that should execute. Does work. Cool. So now I should be able to type in npm start. Yep, all good to go. So now I have my application running. So in order to run my application, I just go to 3000, and I have my application running. Now, again, in order to now render the views, what we do is we put the views inside of our views directory. My application starts from bin, which then goes to server.js. So I go to server.js, and then I go to routes. So routes takes care of writing all my files. So I go over here. In this case, I just want to, like, let's say that you're trying to render a view that's going to be rendering through the controller that has to do with users. If the view has to do with like something else, like pricing or trips or something like that, then you put it into the appropriate one. So let's just go to users. So the view is always rendered in our case by the controller. So the controller, remember, takes care of whether or not to first go to the database before going to the view, or just going to the view directly. So in this case, we're just gonna render a view. So we're just doing a get request. So for instance, if I want to show the main page, this would just go, hey guys, hello. I would just go to routes, application, and this is just going to roll the application controller.index. So if we go to this controller, application controller.index, all it does is a simple render. So hopefully, like, you guys were able to go through this application and understand, like, this is like the steps that are rendering the file. So this res.render over here, this index.handlebars file exists in views. So all it's doing is rendering this view, this index.handlebars file. So anytime I go to the localhost 3000 or to the root of the application, it will then render this file, right? And that's what this file looks like. So pretty simple, not too crazy with going to there. Where it gets more complex and where people have questions, I think, are passing data back. So why don't we go to something that's where people are not having, or where people are having issues. So for example, if you do like a post request, so again, if I go to another page, if I go to, I don't know, register, and again, this is just another get request for this page. But if I'm trying to make like a post request, or I'm posting it as something, let's say I'm creating a new user, whatever, I don't care. Now, what's going to happen here is I need to register this user. So after I hit register, what's going to happen is I need to have a page that displays with dynamic info. So the page that gets displayed is going to be, let's see. So if we go to views, and this is the registration page. So if we go to users, registration, this is going to be the page that gets displayed, but the layout is going to be the main registration handlebars, and the JavaScript file is going to be the signup.js. So if you take a look at the logic at the JavaScript.js, this is the logic. So if you go to signup, and you just go to sign up user. So what happens is every time you execute the sign up, because this is an on-the-click event listener for the sign up button, what it's going to do is it's going to do some basic data validation, and then what it's going to do is it's going to call the sign up function, sign up user function, and what that does is just makes a post to user/signup. So why don't we take a look at the post handler on the server side. So this is going to be under users. So if you go to users and go to the post handler, I mean, I have to go to routes. So when we go to routes, this is properly. This is users, so post, and this is going to be sign up. So this is the one we want. So sign up user is going to be the controller action that we're going to go to. And the controller action for sign up user is going to be in the users controller, and it's going to be sign up user. Okay. So over here, what happens is this is all database stuff that happens from the model. And then what happens is this just sends us back over here. So this actually is not doing something with handlebars. I want to do something with handlebars where data is being passed in. Oh, actually, no. This actually is pretty complex. So if you do this, what happens is we redirect back to the home page. So after you register, it will take us back home. But what happens is we're going to have a state change. So this is something that we that gets a little bit more complex. Is my index.handlebars has some conditional statements. Actually, not in here. Inside of the nav. So if we take a look at the nav partial, we'll notice that there's something in here that says if is authenticated. Now, is authenticated is actually some information that gets sent back. And so this conditional actually changes, uses the data to change the information. Because once I'm logged in, for example, when I log in over here, let's see, let me just put meow meow, whatever. Do I not have one that's correct? Oh, I don't think I ever set this up actually on this computer. Let me just set up a new user. So whatever. I'm just registering a new user. It's going to be whatever. Cool. And then I log in with that user. Cool. So notice that I now have two changes. So instead of it saying log in, it now has log out and my trips. So that's because of this conditional rendering over here. So that actually is something that does change, but it's not based on us sending information back. It's just the data changing on the client side. So it re-renders this, which is really cool because you actually have some cool dynamic functionality that happens based on state. So I just really quickly wanted to just go through handlebars in that regard because I think some people are confused about like testing out pages and stuff like that. So this is just standard how we've been doing it this whole class in terms of like how we use handlebars. Again, you want to go check out the routes, go to the controller, and then set up where the file is going to be rendered from. You guys are probably reaching like the end of like handlebars. So, you know, like this is just in case you're doing it like a little bit differently. Generally, this is how you should be applying it. If you did it a little bit differently, it's okay, but try to follow this as how you're doing it. Any questions about this? No questions? All right, cool. Well, I guess I'll just catch you guys later then. Take care, everyone.